Hello everyone, hello friends. Ever get so frustrated you rip off your fake eyelashes? It's kind of what I did just now. Wegmans. Wegans. Wegooms. Wegmans. If you're from a Yankee state, you know what a Wegmans is, and it's better than any Walmart, Target, Costco, Sam's Club, you name it. Wegmans is the best grocery store that's ever seen on the face of this planet Earth. Not that I've seen so far. And I'm from Pittsburgh, where they worship Giant Eagle, and I have converted. I have been taken away. Wegmans has taken me. I love Wegmans. If you're ever on a road trip and you see a Wegmans on that exit sign, go ahead and take a look, because I guarantee that you will wish that there was a Wegmans in your community if you ever stepped even your one little baby toe into a Wegmans store. It is beautiful. It's not painted flat white. The floors aren't plain white. It just looks like a fun place to be. There's groceries, there's a little bit of hardware, there's hot bar, there's a sub shop, there's sushi, and it's even a good sushi bar. Bakery. Wegmans is a great place to shop and a great place to experience, and above all, it's a great place to work. I should know, because that was my very first job. I was a cashier at Wegmans. I mean, don't get me wrong, being a cashier anywhere is like the worst thing. It's like a cinder block scraping up against the sidewalk as time just slowly ticks by, and you wonder, what am I doing here? And how did I get here? When I moved away and moved to Brooklyn last year, I was really upset that Brooklyn didn't have a Wegmans, not even like really in like the 100-mile radius, to be frank. But then when I heard that Brooklyn was getting a Wegmans last October, I was ecstatic. But then my boyfriend told me he didn't love me anymore, so I had to move back to Pennsylvania. At least there's a Wegmans here. Oh, hello, lovely boyfriend of mine. Are you excited for that Wegmans that's coming this October? I can't wait to go shopping at a Wegmans finally. I can't wait to have a nice sub. It's gonna be great. Well, Autumn, I don't love you anymore. Pack up your shit. You're going back to Pennsylvania. You will never experience that Brooklyn Wegmans you so very desperately desire. At least there's a Wegmans in Pennsylvania. But let's backtrack a little bit to when I was living in Brooklyn. I decided to go on a road trip with a couple of my friends. It was my buddy Tony, and to be honest, I didn't know the guy in the back seat, and I don't remember his name, so let's just call him Chris. So we're going on this road trip, and we're heading to a campground, and it's a little bit outside of New Jersey, right on the Pennsylvania border. So it wasn't too far from the city, maybe like a 3-hour drive. And when we're driving around and we just got out of the city lines, and then traffic was about to slow down a little bit, we decided to talk about where we were going to eat. We're talking about, oh, maybe we could go to a Wendy's, maybe we could go to a Burger King. I don't really like Burger King, so we're really talking about where to go. And eventually we just start to talk about Wegmans. And I'm like, oh, Wegmans is such a great place to shop, a great place to eat. It's a good old time. And while I'm saying how great Wegmans is, I look up to the exit sign and it says Wegmans, next exit. And I'm like, we gotta go to Wegmans. And it was just that exit. So Tony's like, and we get into the exit. Boom, we're in the Wegmans parking lot. It's Wegmans time, everybody. And keep in mind, these two dudes has never been to Wegmans before in their life. And if you've ever been to a Wegmans, you know what's gonna happen to them. So then Tony looks at us and he's like, everyone, I got something to do when we get to the campground. 20 minutes tops, get our food, go to the bathroom, and we gotta leave. And I'm like, all right, Tony, that seems to be a really reasonable thing. It's like 20 minutes should be a perfect amount of time for you to experience Wegmans, get food, pee, and get the heck out of here so then we can get to the campground. We all, break, let's get into the Wegmans. We waddle into the Wegmans, and immediately they're like, whoa! Everyone's just like, wow, Wegmans it's painted amazingly. It's never what you expect it to be. And then eventually we all split off to get our food. And I think we'd all stay confined in the hot bar area. And once I pay, and I'm holding my bag, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, where'd the guys go? I'm waddling around, the hot bar area, and I'm like, I can't see them. So I go into the grocery part. Can't see them there. Can't see them there. Eventually I find them within the huge store's grocery population of objects and items to purchase with goods and services. I see them with a big cart just full of just goods. Like, Tony, Chris, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, we decided to do some grocery shopping while we're here. Might as well. I'm like, yeah, I guess a one-stop shop, but I mean, we only have 20 minutes. I'd be like, it hasn't been 20 minutes yet. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, it hasn't been 20 minutes. We do some grocery shopping. We finally get their hot food, and we sit down to eat. Also, something that's funny to mention whenever you're like at a place where you used to work and you walk up to the cashier and you're like, hey, how you doing? I used to work here. And immediately that's like, how may I serve you today? Attitude's like, oh, thank God you're here. Like, you won't believe what happened earlier. And you're like, yeah, tell me about it. And it's almost like you're let into something that you used to have and they're just excited to see like a friendly face. Even if you've never seen them before, if you'd be like, yo, I used to wear that uniform, they'll be like, oh, let's have a chit chat. And let me tell you, Mr. Wegman was actually there that day and he was around shaking people's hands and whatnot. So that's something Mr. Wegman likes to do. He likes to shake people's hands. Good guy, shaking hands. Anyways, we finally finish our food and we're packing up and I'm like, oh, there's an alcohol section. Do you guys want to check it out? And I'm from Pennsylvania, so I'm used to a Pennsylvania bottle shop. Pennsylvania is a commonwealth, so their alcohol laws are like terrible. Like, you can't be standing next to an 18-year-old that you don't even know and like pay for your own alcohol. It's that serious. But this is New Jersey, so I'm not sure what New Jersey is like, but it's obviously a lot better than Pennsylvania, because when we turned the corner to get to this alcohol place, it looked like a Sam's Club, like an entire Sam's Club of just alcohol, and then we all go like, what the heck? Anyways, we spend some time in there, we get what we need. They actually found mead. So then, like, that's something that you can't usually find. So then they found a mead at a Wegmans, we check out, and we finally get back to the car. And I'm like, how long were we in there? And when we check the time, we were in there for 3 hours. 3 hours. And Tony is like, we're gonna miss the meeting. And I'm like, Flora, Tony, we gotta get out of here. And then we make it to where we need to go. But then that's what Wegmans does to you. It makes you go crazy. It makes you think that 20 minutes is 3 hours. So be careful when you're going into a Wegmans. But let me tell you, you'll fall in love. Just like me. I mean, after that trip, like, Tony's always like, yo, Wegmans, that's the shit. And I'm like, it totally is. Alright everyone, like this video if you did. If you didn't subscribe to me. You'll get more of me. But alright everyone, have a good day. Bye-bye.